Hi, everybody, and welcome to Hex Token channel. Your host, Superman, in the house. Yeah, boy. It's a very summery. Did I say summery? It's a very sunny day here in good old New Zealand. And, of course, it's currently 12:30 p.m., so it's basically lunchtime, I guess. Friday, the 4th of November. And, of course, I know many of you are still stuck back on Thursday. What's the time in LA at the moment? It is 4:30 in the afternoon. Currently, 7:30 in the evening in New York. London at the moment is still on Saturday as well. 11:30 in the evening, of course. By the time we finish this live stream, they'll be in on Friday as well. So welcome, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good time. And hey, we've got a cool poll up at the moment. The video is called, Are you still excited for Pulsechain? Are you still excited for Pulsechain? Now, where did I get that question from, you may ask? Where did I get that from? Well, I got that from Trayvon. Trayvon did a video this morning that I saw. It was just a quick one. Did I over-sacrifice for Pulsechain? This was his video. And so he asked that question, are you still excited? Because he was saying, well, a lot of people are still posting videos, how excited they are for Pulsechain. And so I thought, hey, why not ask a question to the community about how are you excited about for Pulsechain? And so we've got a cool poll up at the moment. Are you still excited for Pulsechain? Yes, super bullish. Richard Hart, the man. Number 2, yes, excited. Expect big gains. Because obviously, if we're waiting all this time, then big gains will make it all worth it. Just like Hex, people have to wait over a year for Hex, and of course, the gains were worth it in the end. You still have to wait a bit of time though, but still in game. And of course, feeling good, but no fuzzies. So you're pretty excited. Or you're feeling good at least, like so. You just got proof of weight. You're just waiting. You don't feel the fuzzies, the excitement yet, but it will come. Or you're feeling flat about it. It's not launched yet, which is a lot of people, and that's understandable too. So get in there, folks, and let's see how that poll goes by the end. All right, so let's get into a couple of comments. We're going to have a look at the stock market results after the Fed yesterday, of course. We're going to go into the stock market. We're going to get Hex and Pulsechain ecosystem. What else are we going to be doing? We're going to be looking at Pulsechain. So we're going to look at Pulsechain, the updates that we've had, and just work through that. We're also going to have a look at Rack and Rochelle is back posting and got some big news around the EB exchange. I'm actually think I might do a separate video on that too. We've also got obviously some updates around Pulsechain projects. Some of them are launching on other chains, but coming over to Pulsechain just because Pulsechain's not launched yet, like Pulse Bitcoin, BNB. We're also going to look at the Hex daily stats from yesterday and the Hex daily stats today. So you're going to get both of those. And of course, we've hit a very important milestone, 25,000 Hex on per T-share there at the moment. So that's a huge milestone to hit. Up from 10,000 at 25,000. That's pretty amazing, right? So we're going to get into all that. So let's see who else is just arrived in the house here. We've got a few mixed crypto arts in the house as well. We'll come back to your comment later in the live stream. And, of course, Brian's in the house. What's up, folks? Good to see Brian. David Under says, I think I've earned a degree in waiting. You definitely have. And, hey, we've got this token, the weight token. You get more weight token until Pulsechain launches. Kind of a cool idea. And, of course, that's from the Coast team that's also bringing a stable coin and, of course, a fiat on-ramp, off-ramp to Pulsechain too. So that's kind of bullish. Brian says it's only the midterms. Haha, says Brian. Yeah, we've got the midterms coming up on the 8th. So we'll be talking more about that too. Rango's in the house there. Morning all. Good to see you, Rango, aka Hex Sushi. And of course, we've got Wiki in this house as well. The Jedi is on stream. Woohoo, Superman's still the boss. I like one there, Wiki. Appreciate it. CJ in the house here with the Rockets as well. Love it. Chance Nicely. Getting excited. Hey, Chance Nicely. Good to see you. And as well. Nice one. All right. So don't forget to subscribe. Smash the like button. Hit the bell for future videos. All that good stuff. Yesterday I did a couple of short form videos. I'm trying to get into that. It's supposed to be what I'm supposed to be doing. I was sort of stopped doing it for a little while, which is kind of weird. But hey, I was getting a bit distracted with social stuff in Discord and other things like that. It's just the way it goes. So we'll get back into it, and expect a lot more short form videos as well as this live stream that we do daily. Well, let's get into the numbers on the stock market. The Dow down as tech slides on hawkish Fed bets. Jobs data eyed. So this is not surprising, I should say. Man, my English is really falling apart there. But we expected this kind of behavior the following day as well. So what we got here at the moment, we got the Dow Jones is up. Interestingly enough, the futures yesterday was still showing green. So that definitely turned. We got the Dow Jones there down 0.5%. You know, the Dow Jones is the top 30 industrial firms, United States, at least the ones that are on the index here. And of course, down 146 points to 32,000, still holding up pretty nicely, actually. Going under 30,000 would be a really bad sign, and staying under there. The S&P 500 is down 1%, 40 points, basically down to 3,700. And of course, we were watching particularly the tech companies in there is what we're particularly watching there. The NASDAQ is down 1.7% there, 182 points, down to 10,342. And of course, has a lot of the tech companies in there too. So that's pretty much it. The volatility index is down 2%. And that's probably a good sign, actually, down 2% there. But the dollar is up 1.4%. So not great for commodities. The dollar strengthening versus the other currencies. So actually, I need to check it versus the Kiwi, which is one of the majors, right? So obviously, the Kiwi dollar is what's relevant to us. Let's jump over to the commodities. We've got Brent oil is down $1.60 or 1.6% down to $94.57. So it's nice to see a little bit of pull off there. But it's pretty much stuck in the mid 90s. West Texas down 23 cents to just under $88. We got gold up slightly, up 75 cents to $16.31, and silver up to about 3 cents, up to $9.47. Now the big narrative around silver and gold, of course, is if the Fed pivots, which looks like it's going to be later now rather than earlier, then we will, we could get $1 sold off, and therefore the commodities have a rally. So we'll see where that plays out in the future. Probably 2023 sometime is when you might expect that. Let's get into the commentary, though. The Dow slipped Thursday, pressured by a stumble in big tech amid rising treasury yields as investors bet on a more hawkish path for rate hikes. So remember, we use terminologies like hawkish or dovish. Dovish meaning weaker or not so aggressive, and hawkish meaning more aggressive, stronger type of actions taken by the Fed there regarding particularly interest rates. So more hawkish path for the rates there. Tech added to losses from a day earlier as the 10-year Treasury yield traded close to highs for the year after Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell indicated Wednesday that rates will have to be raised to a higher level than previously expected. Now, you can watch that full video on Hex Token channel. I've been posting all the economic calendars and economic press conferences by the Fed Reserve, so you can check that out here on Hex Token, including question time as well. Jerome Powell indicated that rates will have to be raised to a higher level than previously expected. So I guess we're probably going to head, I haven't looked at the actual publications, but I think we're probably going to head to 5% rather than 4.5% federal funds rate. Now we're between 3.75 and 4% at the moment. So we'll see. We may get another 75 basis points, who knows, or 50 basis points in December. Probably 50 is my guess. The FOMC hiked rates by 75 basis points at its November meeting and underscored that ongoing increases will be necessary. And of course, that was highlight there. Now, tech stocks here. There's probably an interesting comments. Apple led the move to the downside for big tech, falling more than 4%, followed by Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. If Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft keep going lower, then it will be awfully hard for the S&P 500 to rise as these companies make up such a large market share. Now, I've made this comment, I think, of maybe a week ago, that these leading tech stocks, the FANG stocks and things like that, make up a lot of the growth in the stock market. So if these things are showing signs of weakness, you should be really, really worried because particularly around employment and earnings growth and things like that. So we have seen a bit of a mixed bag there amongst these, I think. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that one. This move lower could push the S&P to about 3,200. Well, we see that the S&P at the moment is, we go back to the indices, the S&P 500 is currently at 3,700. So that's another 500 points if it gets wiped off. So this move could push the S&P 500 to 3,200. That's another 500 points decrease from here, well below current levels of about 3,700, leading to a more reasonable valuation multiple on the S&P 500 to about 14, 15 times that is price of earnings. And that would be that'd probably be a realistic move. I think that we've got tons of the largest firms, just the valuations are just way ahead of their earnings power. So maybe we'll have a look at that in another video too. Could probably cover that. The earnings front, meanwhile, delivered mixed quarterly results. So a bit of a mixed bag in the earning results there. We're going to jump to the end here on the economic front. Weekly jobless claims unexpectedly declined, pointing to a robust labor market there. Typically, we're still seeing a relatively strong labor market. We are seeing chinks in the armor, but definitely still holding up stronger with a lot of these indices. And stoked expectations for an upside surprise on Friday's monthly jobs report. So a forecast is 200,000 jobs. Previously, we got 263,000. So we'll see what the October numbers come in at too, if they beat 200,000. So probably we'll see how we go. And that would be further likely fuel for the Fed, for the hawkish Fed, right? That's not going to be this information's now, because we know that they're going to look to go higher. This information now, if we've still got this booming economy with the employment things are higher, then this is going to feed into that higher narrative. So we're going to take it real more seriously, and the market, I think, will take it more seriously now, rather than that pivot narrative that didn't play out. This will be more important. The economic, these major economic indicators that come out leading up into the December 14th Fed review, which is coming up. So we're still at that last one for the end of the year. I think this is where we need to take these things even more seriously than we have been already. Which we have been, but even more important now will be these growth numbers and GDP numbers and things like that. We've got the inflation number coming out on the 14th, remember? Hopefully that's going to organically come back a bit. That might ease off a bit of this bullish jobs number. So we'll be looking for that tomorrow US time, which will be Saturday my time. Economists expect that 200,000 new jobs were created last month, which would still be a historically strong number this late in the cycle. And that's an important point. So late in the cycle there. And of course, job openings increased last month. There's more companies looking for workers. So I don't see how that's going to be followed by a weak October's job report, as that would be inconsistent. If there's a surprise, it's not going to be on the downside, but the upside. So yeah, this would feed into a higher, longer Fed interest rate hawkish narrative. So we'll be a bit concerning about this. It was really a big deal coming up in the next sort of 6 weeks, 8 weeks. So cool. That is pretty much the stock market. Let's jump over to crypto. BTC at the moment, $20,260, holding up over 20K. But this is the worry. Is it going to slip and slide down? If we get a strong jobs report, maybe the market is going to treat that as a negative tomorrow. And of course, the stock market goes down, the BTC market goes down, and we get that capitulation down to 14K by maybe just after mid-November. We'll see how we get on with that. But at the moment, 20,268, and it is holding on the weaker side under that 20,400 mark. So we will see, but still green for the moment on a 24-hour basis. Ethereum there, $1,533. The standouts, of course, are BNB, 329 up 2.7%, and Dogecoin. Dogecoin was actually a lot better earlier, and now it's down at down 4.4% at 12.2 cents. Obviously, BNB and Dodge benefiting from the Elon Musk Twitter takeover there at the moment. We can see that Matic actually is having a bit of a nice rally there. Not sure if there's any news around that, probably is, but that's up 9% on the Polygon network. That's kind of where we are at this stage. Just having a look around at any of those others. That's kind of the highlights there. So cool. Let us know what you think about that. We're going to get into the Hex daily stats for yesterday since we missed out. Remember, I tried to hold on for it, but it just came in too late. But before we do that, let's get into the chat there and just catch up on any people that have just arrived in the house. We've got Blobfish King in the house there. Man, that looks cool. G'day, everybody. I can't wait for the day I wake up and Twitter has gone mad with Pulsechain launch. Me too. Blobfish King, me too. That'd be so cool. Yeah, boy, he says, Brennan. We got Tick Snacker, man. Some people have some funny names. What's doing, Super Mango? Hey, good to see you in the house there. And welcome to the chat as well. Dave Down Under, I'm excited that Rackham has raised his head. Me too, Dave. I think it's a positive sign. He's one of our billionaires. In fact, he's our most active billionaire that we're aware of, actually building on the blockchain. So we've always talked about there possibly being around about maybe 6-7 billionaires are involved in some way around the Hex Pulsechain ecosystem. But he's the one that's out of all of them that we know is publicly developing products that will incorporate Pulsechain. And so that's going to be exciting. A coin listing site, exchange, things like that. He's got 4 main products at the moment, but I think he'll end up possibly having a suite of products as well, like even more. It's going to be quite cool. He did put out an invite for ideas, so you just never know your luck there. KDS in the house says, hey, all, woohoo, good to see you. Brian's in the house, sup. And what else? There's Sarah G. Hey, Sarah G. Hey, everybody. Nice to see Sarah in the house again. All right, so cool. Let us get into it. So we got day 1,066 yesterday. Didn't quite get to talk about this, but it was down. The price was at 3,999, so just under 4 cents, down 8.9%. We had the Hex payout was spectacular yesterday, 6.675. But we've had very good payouts. And if you're staking, what you do is you buy Hex and you stake Hex, and then you get Hex payout per day. So that's pretty much how Hex works there. And of course, the Hex payout is 6.675 Hex per T-share. T-share stands for trillions of shares. And of course, when you stake your Hex, you get shares in return. So that's pretty much it. And of course, the last couple of days, we've had really good payouts. And yesterday was spectacular, 6.675. Thank you very much. And that was 2 different accounts that in 2 different stakes that ended up delivering that huge reward. I think it was a 10 million Hex, something like that. It was pretty decent. We'll check it out when we get to the end. We got the share price slipped under 1,000 at $998 on the T-share price. So you get 1 T-share. And of course, the T-share rate there went up 0.5 to 24,995.8 yesterday. So close to 25. It has hit 25 now, but we'll talk about that later on. The average stake length is 6.67 years. The payout yesterday, the annual percentage yield rate, which is the yield, which is inflation. Hex's inflation is normally up to 3.69. The effective inflation is actually lower, though, because of particular mechanisms inside the Hex contract ecosystem. The yield and the emergency end stakes, that's the EES there penalty. That's when people are either late or early end stake, things like that, is at 40.46%. So really, really nice payout in Hex there. Liquidity in the pool is 252 million Hex, up dramatically from yesterday's 198. Now, this moves around when people buy or sell Hex in the liquidity pools, or they add or remove liquidity, what we call liquidity providers or LP providers. So that's kind of what moves this around. Liquidity there is down from 13.1 million down to 11.6. 13.1 was getting tasty and juicy, but we did have a high of 14.25 million back about 8 days ago. So it was pretty nice. Liquidity in the pool, 1,494 ETH there. That's just nice. What else we got there? We got the T-shares down 3,500, down to 10,430,000. That is how many people ownership. Hex is a reward pool and an ownership pool. There are 10.4 million T-shares in the ownership pool. So that can move up and down. If either the reward pool or the T-share pool moves up or down, the ownership pool, then the Hex payout per T-share can move around a little bit. Let's jump away to the final results here. We've got 9.75% of all Hexes staked. Yesterday was, look at that return. Woo, this is penalties. Almost 11 million in penalties. Isn't that beautiful? 10.9 million. And that is a great day. Look at in the last 4 days have all been pretty good. If you're staking your Hex, you are getting not only inflation, but you're getting the penalties as well. 50% of the penalties go to stakers, 50% to the OA addresses. So that's pretty cool. What else there? We got the current holders down 30 to 311,971. I really don't know what this number is drawing from exactly, but it is close to that number. But just amazes me that we have negative numbers on there. I'm not really sure what that's resulting off. So anyway, we've got the current stakers 111,544 at 78 and increase, which is cool. This is the kind of the headline number. Really good day yesterday. And of course, total holders are up 203 to 506,000. So looking pretty good over that 500,000 number. We're going to have day number 10,000. No, sorry, 1,067 coming up later, not 10,000. Boy, 10,000 years later. All right, so we're up to there. We're going to talk about that later as well, but we're going to the Hex chart. So let's talk about that. Now, this is my DEX Tools chart, which is a little different from DEX Screener. There's 12 hours difference in the daily chart, so the candles will look a little bit different. But of course, we have, I wanted to pull this up because this has a few of the TA indicators on it. We've got in the blue lines there, we've got the blue lines. The top one is the top 95% of the price range, and the bottom blue line is the bottom 5%. And the red line in the middle is the 50% line. So that's kind of where we are there. And we can see that we've also got this yellow line, which is the EMA 13. So it's got the last 13 days in it. And of course, EMA is the exponential moving average, basically means that it weights the more recent prices more than it does the earlier prices out of that 13-day moving average. And of course, basically gives a bit of indication. Now, typically, if we have a tight Bollinger Band and we have a cross of the yellow EMA 13 over the 50% red line of the Bollinger Band, that is, giving us really good confirmation or indication, I should say, that we're going to go on an uptrend or a downtrend, depending on which way it's going. So this crossed over with tight Bollinger Bands, and away we went. So it was really good. It played out very well here and gave us good high confidence. Now, obviously, it doesn't play it every time, but most of the time we do get the tight Bollinger Bands and the crossover EMA 13, and it does go in that direction generally. And this is what we saw play out. Now we've got a wider Bollinger Bands now, and of course we had a bit of a pullback here. We had such a big rally that we get a pullback, but then of course we had the Fed yesterday, which rained on the parade with the still remaining hawkish rather than pivoting, and down we went. We went down from 4.384 cents down to 3.775. We sort of bounced back, and we've tried to get this 4 cent mark. See how we sort of closed around 3.958, so just under 4 cents. And then today, of course, we opened up at that price, and at the moment we're at 3.869. So there was a bit of a battle going on here to try and hold on, trying to get back to 4 cents, but just couldn't do it. And down we are at the moment, down to the middle of our Bollinger Band, the 50% mark. We're just about there. And of course, you can see the big volume candle from yesterday. That's kind of indication there. Let's have a look at some of the other indicators on the TA. We've got the DMI with the buyers were in control. And of course, the trend has been killed off. So how do we know that? Obviously, the price action, but this orange line is the momentum. And once it goes below 25, then you've really lost your confirmed trend. And we've got the buyers coming down here. Now, sellers are coming up here. So they're coming up to clashing together, and it may end up crossing, it may not, it may end up breaking away. So we will have to just wait and see there. But definitely just confirming where we think we are in terms of the price just weakening off there. Now the other part of it is we've got the the RSI down at 50% at the moment, so it's really indeterminate. And of course we've got the stochastic RSI, which is also kind of weighting the more recent prices down here. With this is going down, so it's just going down. So that's kind of where we are. Hopefully we'll get an end soon, somewhere maybe in here. It doesn't necessarily have to go down here. Could just turn here somewhere. So we'll be watching that as well for the turn. We're waiting for the turn. This is the turn here, sort of goes in one direction, waiting for a turn. So that turn will be a bit of a crossover with the blue line over the red line. So we'll wait for the blue line to cross back over the orange line, get a bit of a turn there. So that's kind of indicator. So really, that's kind of where we are at this stage. I kind of feel we'll probably sit around this range at the moment. Maybe we could get down to 3.4, 3.5 possibly. We will see how we get on here at the moment. So cool. That's kind of where we are on that chart. We'll just have a look at the whale bot. We've got the last 24 hours. We had 4.2 million hex sold for 161,000. 22 hours ago, we had 4.1 million sold bought 21 hours ago for 161,000. So it looks like a bit of a trader there, I guess. Let's have a look what else we've got there. 66 million hex stake for 10 days. 58 million stake for 10 days. And then we got this one, he got nuked. Absolutely nuked. Absolutely massacred, actually. 269 days over 5555 days. Surely the account was compromised. And whoever got hold of it realized there was a hex stake in there possibly and nuked it. It's kind of seems like the most obvious, most logical one there, but that's a bit sad. Bit sad to see that, to be honest. So yeah, all right, cool. And in any case, it goes back to hex stakers. So 50%. So it's not all lost. Goes back to the good people. I'm just kidding. The people that are staked. I guess that's the way it goes. All right, cool. So that's the hex daily. That's hex whales. Let's jump away from that, and now we're gonna have a look at the bit of the hex timeline as well. So we've got the hex timeline coming up. This is the hex chart on Dex screen now, so it's a 12-hour different chart from the other one. And obviously the price is the same here, 3.784. We've got the midterms coming up. It's coming up pretty soon, so not too far away from that, are we? What's that, 4 days or so to the close, 5 days to the close, and let's hope for a good outcome. Yeah. All right, so we've got the US midterms coming out there, and we've got the inflation results or October results coming out on the 10th of November. And then, of course, we've got the Hex HSI stakes for the Hedron ICOSA coming up on the 13th, which is getting ever so close, isn't it? So what's that, about 9 days away. So getting close on that one. Now, a Pulsechain V3 testnet, will we get that soon? Or we're going to talk about Pulsechain soon with some of the last updates. Richard Hart's end of the bear, the 21st. That's not going to play out because the Fed's more aggressive than Richard was indicating in his video. We might play that later on if you want me to play that, but it definitely looks like that's not going to play out. Could be a bit later in the month, so maybe December, moving this to December. So there we are. The Hex, the third birthday coming up on the 2nd of December. Man, we're getting close to that. Isn't that fun? So we're getting close to that. 28 days to that. And then the final Fed rate hike for the year, the 14th of December. That is 40 days away. So we've got a bit of a window here we'll either see the market do a complete collapse down to find the bottom, perhaps down at 14K or 11K and pray even, but let's say 14K in the slightly past mid-November. And then, of course, maybe that's sort of the bearish scenario, or we have sort of a move sideways or an opportunity for some altcoins to run. So we'll see how we get on there. We've still got 40 days to go until the next Fed rate hike. But like I say, we do have the jobs report coming tomorrow. We've got the inflation rate coming on the 10th. So we've still got some economic indicators coming in between this time that may have more weight to it by the market. The financial market may weight those more in terms of the Fed's next rate hike, which I expecting at 50 basis points. So we'll see. All right, so cool. That is pretty much it on that one, on the Hex one. So we'll just jump over to the Hex on ETH-PAL. So ETH-PAL volume is $1 million. We can see that it's all the way down here at number 15 now, dropped another place from yesterday, keeps dropping down low, which is a good sign for the chain itself, I think. But the actual volume, $591 and 24-hour volumes. Have none of you retail DGNs been playing over there because it's down 52,000 in volume on the main pair there. And of course down 2.6%, which is not too bad, sitting at 0.003465. That's on the ETH-PAL network. Let's have a look at ETH Fair. Now look at this dismal 16,000, but better than yesterday is the volume on ETH Fair. And of course, Hex is still dominating on this one, albeit let's have a look at the volumes here on the ETH pair. $700, so a little bit better than ETH-PAL actually, from the looks of it, and 6,700 liquidity, very small liquidity. Ouchie. The price 00013, of course, is reflecting the liquidity there. 00013, and versus the ETH Fair. Oh, sorry, ETH-PAL, which is at 3465. So what's that, a 3x or something like that? So cool. That is pretty much that market. We'll jump away from there. We're going to get into Hedron. Hedron's had a nice little bounce here, but broke down its support here. This is the way it goes. Bottom down at 3382. How interesting is that? Is that interesting? Because this was the support line. Remember 3400? I said the 3400, and that's where it's bounced from today. 3400. That's a pretty interesting. It did break the uptrend. This is the second time it's broken the support level. The support level was adjusted already, and now it's even lower. So now we've got a new one now. Just the way it goes. But we're running out of days. The days are coming. And the price is back up at 3644. Are we going to get that rally on? We've got the opportunity. We've got through the Fed interest rate hike now. We've got the poly audit out now too. So this poly audit is out, and I think it was good. I didn't watch Dipcatcher's review, but presumably he had a few little minor issues, I think possibly, but I think that's probably out of the park. So PolyMaximus looks like it'll probably be proceeding soon. I haven't seen anything on the PolyMaximus site before the live stream. But no doubt we'll probably get some update about that maybe within the next 24 hours is my guess. It is the 4th. They obviously want to get their minting up as soon as possible to allow all the small retail people to participate. There's 9 days to go, so they definitely want to be up, I guess, on 7 days to get that up as running, which is plenty of time, but they definitely want to get that involved. They also got the water token as well for the ETH gas fees. You just never know your luck with that one too. So we're going to get this rally. We're still looking pretty good. We held the 3,400, and of course, we're going to get this big rally up here. Are we going to get that into here at the moment? Nothing really stopping it too much, I don't think. So yep, let's see how we go. How high will it go though? I don't know. I'm thinking if it does go high, maybe it can get to 6,300. So definitely less bullish on my point of view than previously. This is my calls have been pretty good on this channel, but this call was wrong back here, and this is the way it goes. Can't get them all right. And at the moment, though, this is the second phase, as we talked about, and we're going to get that rally into here, and of course get some of these big green candles. Now, obviously, a lot of people have minted Hedron. A lot of the small players can participate in PolyMaximus. We're going to see some buyers come in here that need to buy it for the HSI auctions, or are we going to see people just speculate on the idea that we're going to have lots of Hedron burned through the Hex HSIs? And it is going to be a lot potentially, particularly the larger ones, the more valuable ones. Like we got well in excess, I think it's 68 and a half, so this is a bit old, this number, 68,500 or close to 69,000 T-shares. And of course, that's a huge percentage of the total Hex T-share pool. Remember, that's 10.4 million, 10.44 million, and of course, this is a big amount. Well in excess of 500,000 Hex, but particularly about 200 million Hex, or about 90 HSIs of the most value. And of course, most of those coming out on the first day, on the 13th there, or the 14th if you're down under in Australia, New Zealand, Pacific Islands, somewhere like that. So that's kind of where we're counting down, getting closer and closer and closer. Yeah, so I definitely think we have a chance potentially this local high, but I think that the chances of hitting the all-time high are low. And I think the golden getting to 10,000 up here, I don't think that's in the game at the moment. Neither do I think getting to the 1.68 ratio, which is up at 12,000 here. I think all those things, which may have been possible before, unlikely now. But definitely we could make a play for here, and I'd be shocked to the upside if we get this 270 in this particular run. But you just never know. We could get some pretty dramatic candles, but at the moment the market's kind of bearish. We've just come off the Fed rate hike and so forth. So unless we see somebody decide to move this along, I don't expect us to hit these higher numbers now. So cool. Let's see how we go with that. All right. Let's jump over to the airdrops. I think we're up to the airdrops. Yep. Let's jump over to there. We're almost up to the Pulsechain topic, so stay tuned for that. Pulse Dogecoin at the moment is Pulse Dogecoin is at $6.06, really underperforming at the moment, but holding over $6 is pretty critical. We got down to $5.75, but definitely underperforming. Yeah, that's just pretty much it. But how low will it ever go again? Will it ever go below $5? Not ever, but will it go under normal circumstances? Will it go under $5? We will see. But at the moment, it's holding here. Obviously, had a massive burn. So let's have a quick look at the massive burn. I'm just going to make sure I go to, I'm on the right chain there. I'm going to jump to this one. Now, for every Pulse Dogecoin you transform, that gets burned, and you get 5 asset tokens that you get, and you need those for mining Pulse Bitcoin and potentially a Pulse Litecoin in the future. 2.8 million Pulse Dogecoin have been burned, 46.6%. So definitely slowed down, and that slowdown seems to have translated into buy pressure on the market here at the moment. But we've got a long way to go still in terms of the time frame. This this orange time frame is 60 days. We've still got a long time to go for that, and we're heading towards 50% of the burn. So only 50% of the supply will probably be less. I'm sure we're going to get the 50% and probably in excess of that, but that's kind of where we are tracking at the moment. We've got almost 14 million asset tokens from mining. Let's jump over to the mining token here. We've got obviously the reward at 7.5% with an ASIC mining fee of 0.25. This is before the first halvening, which occurs halfway through. Remember, this is mirroring Bitcoin itself very closely. We have ASIC tokens instead of ASIC miners, and you're mining for Pulse Bitcoin instead of Bitcoin, and so forth. And of course, there's only ever going to be 21 million Pulse Bitcoin. The first halving is at 10.5 million Pulse Bitcoin. So it's kind of fun. I like it. I hope you like it. I think it's fun. And we may be having a workshop on this particular project and other workshops coming up with Fat Sammy in the Discord. So look forward to that. If that does happen, we'll let you know. We're probably going to be trying to do different type of workshops and help particularly those who are less proficient in crypto, or maybe new to crypto. So definitely check that out coming up in our Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord, the link is in the video description, and maybe one of the devs can put it in the chat. So cool. This is where we're at the moment. Global active miner count, 6,062 miners now. So that's good. It's gone up from yesterday. It actually looks like it's been climbing a little bit. So just because people aren't buying it on the market, maybe they are using their existing Pulse Dodge to mine as well. We're currently sitting at 1,032,000 Pulse Bitcoin being mined, which is not a big increase from yesterday. I don't know what's happening there. It doesn't seem to be increasing very fast lately, but that's at 10.5 million. So I'm not quite sure what's happening here, but we're at 9.8% before the first halvening. It was kind of fun. I like it. Anyway, so that is the transform. And if you look at the chart there, you can see that we're only progressing through there, and we've still got quite a bit of time to go. This is day 14. So day 14 is 60, so still a long way to go. We'll see where it ends up and how much Bitcoin Pulse Dogecoin supply there is at the end. Now, the other phase that's going on at the moment is the ASIC token miner, a bit like the What's an NFT, where you can get NFT and you earn ASICs through the different halvings as well. And of course, that is definitely something people are doing. Let's see how much has gone in there so far. So 2,146 ATMs at the moment. $1.5 million or 1.5 million points has gone through here. Be interesting to see what the money's used for, besides perhaps covering development costs. We've got 6 tokens that you can use to buy. And so these are the ones here: USDC, Tether, DAI, Wrapped ETH, Hex, and Hedron. So going to be interesting. Day 14 of 30. So that's almost halfway through this. And then after that, you won't be able to get these NFTs, which is kind of cool. Now, the only things trading at the moment, of course, are Pulse Dogecoin and asset tokens, which you can use for mining, so you can buy them on the market. Typically, they should be, a fifth of the Pulse Dogecoin price at the ASIC there if you've got arbitrage working well. The Pulse Bitcoin, of course, there's none of that yet. We won't see that at least for another 16 days to see Pulse Bitcoin on the market, trading on the market another 16 days from now. And of course, the first miners will be out first. So they'll have a kind of a first moving advantage for the people that have Pulse Bitcoin coming out first in their first 16 days. Just typical how things play out. But of course, you never know. Maybe there's a bit of a hockey stick in the chart there. Maybe there's a bit of selling at the beginning at some decent prices. Maybe it comes down a lot, and then maybe it gets bought up after that. Maybe big whales decide to accumulate it because it's relatively rare. We only know at the moment after 14 days, we know that there's only 14 days. There's only, what was there? Only a million. I think there was only a million there. 14 days. Yep. Actually, we'll go to the miner page. I think the million there is a million Pulse Bitcoin. So we might see some whales aggressively buy up the Pulse Bitcoin. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So that is pretty much the airdrop there. Obviously, people can buy Pulse Dogecoin now. Obviously, the airdrop for this one finished back on the 20th of April, way long ago. But of course, people can participate in this Pulse Bitcoin and maybe Pulse Bitcoin, Pulse Litecoin in the future. The weight token, of course, is open. You can claim the weight token, and that's currently at just under 37 hundredths of a cent, and it's definitely weakened off here. Most people have not claimed; they're just waiting. They get more weight token per day, and to qualify for that, you have to have participated in 8 different sacrifices. You can find all that information, of course, in our Discord. If you join, the links in the video description or in the chat. You can go to airdrop free claims, and you can see all the current ones that we're aware of. If I'm missing one, of course, you can let us know. We'll have a review of it and put it in here if it's okay. We've got the weight free claim. We've got the Paul Pleb free claim. We've got the Kira one there, Texan token, and Pulse Kittens. And some of these are not quite open yet, so just remember that. They all have different qualifying criteria, but most of them are around sacrifices or hex staking. So check that out. All right, that is pretty much it. Let's jump over to what else there we got there. The Zen at the moment. Obviously, Zen's rallied big. Has it held up? No, I just probably pulled down. You guys know I've got a stake coming out. I got a mint. What did I end up doing I've only done about 14 of these things. I know some people have done hundreds. I've done about maybe five or six short-term ones that over different intervals, but I've got one coming out tomorrow, I think. I'm not sure if the price will hold up. It's always typically it comes out just before you got your stake coming out. But I'll be minting that. I think it's coming. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it. I'm sure the price is going to retrace before I even get there. But in any case, they've got the Zen NFTs coming out, and I think it's got burning feature and stuff like that. I haven't need to update myself on that, but I think that's kind of where it is at the moment. So yeah, had a big rally on that news. And so how long is it going to hold up? That's the question. Because people are minting. But let's see at the moment. So in the money at the moment, quite a bit on that one. But we'll see. We'll see how we get on with that one. All right, cool. We're going to jump away to that one. So cool. I think that's a bit of fun. it's a possible play, right? It's not a probable play. You are going to get little, if you've got new products coming out, they're going to do anything like the NFTs or burning, transferring stuff, then transferability, then you're going to have a bit of a blip in the price. So you want to take it where you can. All right, so cool. Let's have a look at the PP, the pool pleb, and of course this is one of our airdrop free claims. That is down at 506506. This thing is new. It's like a new baby, and it's a bit like Zen a little bit, but it's even younger baby. Zen might be having its like starting to walk or crawl or something. This thing here is still sitting in the cot. It's like not doing much, and of course here we are. So people can claim that. Now all these of course are in the airdrops free claim. So Pulsechain projects, there's new token chats and airdrops there as well. So you can find all the details in here. I think that's probably on there. Let's jump over to, I think that's the last of the airdrops that we're covering at the moment. Let's jump over to the spotlight for BNBP. So this is our spotlight. This is our speculative project, but it's the world's first peer-to-peer crypto casino, and we're focused on the staking side, obviously not on the casino side of it in terms of the playing. But at the moment, this is turning over. It's like instead of having an inflationary token, it's having like a business that's feeding into your stuff. And this is part of the reason why I like PowerCity as well for Pulsechain. If you missed out on a Pulsechain sacrifice, you want to get Pulse, and I think PowerCity is probably the best project out there for that. It's going to have multiple businesses, which are not just any ordinary businesses, but fundamental utilities. Not all of them, but most of them. They're going to be feeding in to the Pulsechain and amplifying returns, including transform prints. So this sort of powerful business is just going to be ticking over fees, buying you Pulse. Then Pulse goes up and to the right. You're getting more Pulse, and you're just laughing yourself all the way to retirement. So yeah, it's pretty fun. So cool. This is so we're watching this one as a more speculative play though, but it is a brand new technology in crypto, and that's hard to find. You think it's a common, but it's actually harder to find in terms of rolling out value. So you can get a lot of technology developments, but they don't always roll out value. And of course, this is rolling out value, which we're trying to chase the value, right? Be careful with that in crypto, between technology that offers you good features and enablers to things that actually are going to offer you value as well. So it has to have that business model around it as well. So cool. So let's get into some of that. At the moment, of course, we've got nice airdrops. Actually, let me refresh this. We'll probably go a little bit higher there. We've got 752 in the airdrop at the moment. We've got, which is 75% of the profits. The lottery at the moment is 50. Imagine winning 50 BNBP. That'd be pretty cool. Very nice. Very nice. And that goes every week. It's also callable, I think. I think there's callable function. But every week, ideally, it will be called and paid out to some random staker. So if you're staking BNBP, you may end up getting a bonus there. Could be pretty nice. The burn at the moment, 117 on the burn. There's supposed to be a daily burn, so I'm not exactly sure. I think they've moved this to callable as well. So I'll try and double check that, but that's kind of where it is. But it's burning more and more. So there we are, the price at the moment, just sitting above $10 in that sort of $10 to $11 range. I wanted to actually look at the contract. So let me just go and have a look at the contract. Let me have a look at the contract there. So cool. We're currently, 999,155 BNBP is in supply. So it started off at 1 million, and it's just slowly burning every day. So burning. And this is a buy and burn. It's like Pulsex. It's like that sort of mechanism, and it's slowly getting rid of the toll supply. It's going to catch people off guard in the future. And that's not to be said that we've got the participation rewards to pay out. That's 100,000. So that's going to cause volatility in the market, but opportunity. So just remember that. On the other hand, of course, we've got the revenue potentially going bigger and bigger as more games come onto the platform. And of course, this is the first blockchain. Eventually, it's the next one's targeted for Pulsechain. So by the time Pulsechain launches, we're going to have a customer following, going to have a wealth effect following, and also all the games will be up and running and tested and working. And of course, just to throw them onto Pulsechain, it's going to be beautiful. The other thing, of course, is that this is the first sacrifice that's been out, that people have got a huge X returns in this project, up to 28X returns on this project. It's currently at 10X returns, so this is super successful. It'll be interesting to see how many other projects that have had sacrifices can compete with this sort of X returns. I think there's only potentially, in my view, maybe half a dozen that have the chance to either being this good or better. So you know, and it's going to be an interesting empirical question that we're going to find out. But pretty exciting about that. Here we are at the moment, of course, down to almost getting slow down to slow burn, just day after day. You just forget about it. I forgot about it. Come back a month later. Oh my gosh, it's burned even more. I come back. It's kind of like that, right? So it's going to be interesting to see it play out. And it is subject to volume. So the one caveat is that it's subject to volume, and of course, but it has all the gamification to try and encourage that. So cool. All right, that's pretty much there on that one. So we're going to get the Pulsechain update. Before we do that, though, we're going to get into the chats. And let's see who else has arrived. Let's go back to the Hex chart there first before we get into the Pulsechain conversation. 3875 on the old Hex at the moment. Let's see who else has jumped in here. Probably got a few more people. Where do we go up to? Sarah? Sarah had arrived, so that's what I think I got to Sarah. Hey, Sarah. Sandy Beach in the house as well. Yeah, good to see Sandy Beach. What else there? Brendan says, whoa, the APY is up. Nice. Yep, that was up pretty nicely. Hey, we've got Crypto Heartbeat in the house there. Woo, let's go. Good to see Crypto Heartbeat, another awesome YouTuber smashing it out of the park with Pulsechain and Hex content and Texan Token, of course. Crypto Jackson there, smash that like and subscribe. Yeah, thank you so much. What's else there? Can't wait for more Pulse Bitcoin. Yeah, it's got to mint more. Yeah, it's going to be pretty fun to see that play out. Only 16 days to go, and we'll see Pulse Bitcoin on the market. What else there? Check my Pulse. What's up, Hex family? What was it? Was it Pepe saying $20? I think that was his estimate of where he thinks the Pulse Bitcoin might end up at. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be volatile, obviously, but being interesting at the beginning. What's that? Archipelagos and House man. Where can I find clear and concise Hex onboarding materials for no corner? I don't want to flood them with too much information. Thanks, great show. In our Discord, you can get information. We've got a couple of spots here, useful links. So these are ones here. You can pick and choose what you think is appropriate for the person that you're talking to, obviously depending on their knowledge and stuff like that. But we've got onboarding tools here, staking and ladders. So we've got all these different calculators. So you can check all those out. That's just under useful links there. So if you go to Hex Token YouTube official, useful links, you can check all that. We've got all these links, everything about Hex and Pulsechain. I mean, look at it all. It's all juicy goodness. You can pick and choose what you think is nice. So there's a lot of information there, but you've got all the Hex stuff here. Hex information reports, layman guides to Hex. If people have got a bit more, willing to do a bit more study, we've got the main contracts in Hex, the Hex staking sites, Hex audits, and the Pulsechain sites, the Pulsex sites, the sacrifice checkers, which is not relevant for what you're asking, Richard Hart sites, market trading sites, limit orders, and of course, derivative products, Hedron and PolyMaximus on top of Hex, onboarding tools. So there's lots of stuff in here. The other thing I was going to say is that we do have a promotional toolkit. So if you go to general chat under Richard Art Tokens, we've got promotional toolkit there. And of course, lots of different things in here around different promotions and things like that. Now, we still need to do a lot of beefing up of this section, but there's lots of materials in here that you can see have been used for marketing and things like that. So you can check out some of that stuff. So hopefully between those two, there's something in there that suits you as well. And check that out. Cool. All right, so that is pretty much it. Great question. Great question. Appreciate that one. PSI says, I plan to pick up some more PLSD if it goes under $5. I think after the ATMs are no longer an option, in 16 days, PLSD will pump more. Yeah, so a lot of capital, obviously $1.5 million in capital going to ATMs. So it's a really great observation there, PSI. I'm waiting, says Sandy Beach, for the wait token, and Brazil is still waiting too. Nice. What else there? We got a couple other comments. I feel bad for those who couldn't wait and only got like 4 coins. Losses, Briz. Some people did mint and sell on the top though, Briz. Some people didn't mint and sell on the top. I hope Zen stays up for Superman. Zen state, yeah, me too. It's very close. I think it's maybe a day away or something like that. It's not too close. I'm praying Zen holds up price just long enough for Superman to dump on them. Yeah. I have sold all my short Zen stakes. That's true. But I've got all my long stakes. I got my long stakes, so that's fine. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Clippy says, I think actually out of all the minting, probably ETH chain is actually the best because you're still getting a good bonus. I think it's still like, is it 8%? I'm not sure, but it's still getting the best bonus. I think some of the other, but like Polygon and stuff, I think the bonuses are gone to 0. So I don't know about that one. Clippy says, I found the recent asset airdrop to be a bit locking. Many props has not delivered much. Asset airdrop? There's no asset airdrop. I'm not sure what we're talking about there. Plenty of confusion on Twitter about it. Yes, from the founder, the asset airdrop. Yeah, sure. That was very confusing, actually. I think he was getting a bit nervous about it because all the bots and things. Because he lost his other Twitter channel before. Yeah, I think it was he reopened that for some of like ship community and others. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday, Cliffy. So I do get what you mean there. PSI says for BNB pot, the burn is callable by anybody, but you cannot do it if it was done within 24 hours. Nice work there, PSI. JP is working on a page for the UI that will make calling the function much easier. Currently, you must do it via the contract. Yeah, I figured that was a contract call. Have looked at the contract a couple times on here. But that's good alpha there from PSI. Appreciate it. Same for the lottery and airdrop. Nice. Yeah, so they are quite callable functions on them. I sacrifice for PLS less than 1,000 but can't claim PP token. People had a few issues there, Blob. We have covered that a little bit. You can check out our new tokens chat. There's a little bit of updates in there. But the best place to go is the Telegram, Blobfish King, for that one. G'day, Superman from the Dominican Republic. Hey, Living on Crypto, good to see you. Tron's in the house as well. Christian Collins says, hey, do you know anything about the water coin from Maximus? Yes, it's pretty much to help with the gas fees, but you never know your luck. It's a big supporter coin, so you just never know. Supporters often get benefits, don't they? But you just never know. That's pretty much it. You're a superhuman, super mango, says Sticks Maggot. Nice one. Tron's in the house there. What else? Tron's in there says, good to see you all day today. Nice one, Sandy Beach. Let's jump through some of these. Almost up to date here. Water pays gas for executor of poly bidding. That's true. So anyone feeling wet says with the water, probably not. Tin Tops in the house there. What's up, Hexkins? Living in crypto. Pulse Bitcoin even at $10 gives an enormous monthly return on original investment. Yeah, you're still going to need the financial power to pay that, but I agree with you on that one. I still minting Zen. I will be able to claim before day 100, says Christian. Nice. You got to hope for the prices to stay up. That's pretty much it. All right, let's get into the Pulsechain stuff. Before we do, let's party on with Richard Hart. Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
My $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.
All right, that's an introduction to our Pulsechain, folks. Richard Hart, the founder of Hex and Pulsechain and Pulsex. There we go. Hey, look, this is an update we had. This is our last update we previously had on the 15th of August. Yes, we're flashbacking the 15th of August around Pulsechain. And this was the update that we had then. Pulsechain update. We've got a bit of red team versus blue team security auditing going on. Basically, pretty much all going. We've written a denial of service bot to attack the private testnet and different ways to break it. So this was very exciting in terms of, are they up to this point where they're really just trying to test the attack vectors of the chain? Of course, this is on the BSC chain version. And of course, we've also changed validated account to increase entropy and rotation and referring to randomness, I guess, in the hash and blockchain confirmations. Working hard is pretty much it. So working out on that. So that was kind of the update at that time. But of course, things changed radically since this update because it was a complete pivot. And the Fed Reserve may not have pivoted, but they did. But Richard's pivoted. And of course, this is what we ended up getting. So we had on the Ethereum, of course, on the 15th September, we had the move from the Paris upgrade and move from the proof of work to the merge and the proof of stake taking over. So Paris was the merge transition. Its major feature was switching off the proof of work mining algorithm and associated consensus logic and switching to the proof of stake instead. Paris itself was an upgrade to the execution clients equivalent to Beltrix on the consensus layer that enabled them to take instructions from their connected consensus clients. This required a new set of internal API methods, collectively known as the Engine API, to be activated. This was arguably the most significant upgrade in Ethereum history since Homestead. And of course, that happened at this block and the 15th of September. So a really, really big deal. And of course, a super successful upgrade there. So then we had Richard coming on Livestream and giving us an update. So this was on the 15th of September. So we had our last update, 15th of August, with the BSC chain stuff. Then we had the 15th of September, the successful ETH proof of stake launch. And then, of course, Richard came up only a few days after that, which I just trying to remember the 15th there. What date was this one? I think it was the let me look here. I think it's this one here. The 9th of October. So after the 15th of September and 9th of October, which is what, just over 3 weeks after this, we got Richard Hart coming in with an update on Hexologist stream as follows.
I feel that the security considerations for Pulsechain's consensus strength are very, 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 very similar to Ethereum 2.0's. If that makes sense to you.
Makes sense.
We're forking Ethereum 2.0, not Ethereum 1.0. So you beat it out of me, you fucks. You wore me down, okay? So the logic was, do we have more faith in the BSC consensus, which we found flaws in, or rotating to several other options of not very well audited consensus, or the extremely well audited Ethereum 2.0 consensus? And my logic is that if you're going to make things right, doing them during a bear is a beautiful time to do it. And I think it will be quicker to use Ethereum 2.0's consensus than to properly audit and secure Corellia, which is a version of Click, which is what has a lot of problems. And so it was maximum secure and minimum time to market, because we didn't know, like, you didn't know whether the merge was going to work right. Could have not worked right. And you didn't know if they'd ever get to doing it because the delays were nearly endless. Yep. But after they did it, and after it worked right, it was the obvious choice. And so Pulsechain will have upgrades, but be primarily the same consensus mechanism that Ethereum 2.0 uses, but is now called Ethereum 1, right? Like, no one called it's not. Right. Ethereum 2 is now Ethereum 1 since the merge worked. So it's strong. It's safer, it's faster, and any upgrades that come in the future for Ethereum, such as sharding, we will get on our chain. And we wouldn't have got had we stayed with Ethereum 1, because the forks would have diverged. And so it's just better. So we're doing what's better, and it didn't take us any extra time to do it. So it's actually good news, but I got savaged so hard.
So that was the update that we had on the 9th of October. So that followed, like I say, after the merger on the 5th of September, successful. And of course, previously, before that, we'd had this August update on the 15th of August and a month before the ETH merge. And of course, that we were talking about red versus team versus blue team security auditing going on. We've written the denial of service bot to attack it. So this is the old BSC version. So it's basically this almost, I guess, a lot of it's just been shelved. So maybe some of the testing tools and other things are still being used. And of course, they've moved to focus on the ETH proof of stake fork. And so then we got up to Richard Hart yesterday, giving us this update on Pulsechain, using the same terms with the two development teams, A and B teams, competing to release first. So we've moved from the red and blue to the A and B teams, competing to release first. Maybe it's a better recognition of the ETH proof of stake compared to release first. Development is going fine, and that's probably the key takeaway there. That one there. That gives us a lot more confidence in the Pulsechain coming up and so forth. So, July 15th was when the sacrifice started. Obviously, talking about Pulsechain well before that. But, July, August, September, October. So just about a year and maybe 15, 16 months since that time. So that's kind of where we're at the stage. And so we've got the poll on at the moment. And we have different mixed bags, different mixed reactions at the moment at the stage. But I think this update from yesterday, this was the key line for me. Development is going fine. So I'm happy about that. That's kind of the big confidence builder there. Pulsex has been fine for a long time, so we haven't had any concerns with that either. Some people are obviously talking about potentially the V3 liquidity with the AMM bot harvesting, open access of that in, I think it's, was it March? That would be something maybe get delayed for, but I don't really see any delay for that. If they had already an approximation for V3 liquidity for the AMM bot harvesting already, which seemed to be indicated previously, then that doesn't seem to be holding us up. So I'm still optimistic for a December, January launch, but we're still expecting some sort of V3, and that would be based on the ETH proof of stake. So that's kind of where I feel like things are at the moment. Let me know in the chat what you think. I'll be looking forward to that. But let's get into the poll. We're going to wrap this poll up, and we've got 78 votes, which is not too bad. I always like to get to 100, but 78 is good. So let's get into this poll and see where the reactions are at the moment. Are you still excited for Pulsechain? Yes, super bullish. RH Domain, we got 35%, so just over 1 in 3 people out of 78 votes. Feeling flat about it, not launched 32%, so it's 1 in 3, so it's almost just slightly behind. I'm not surprised by those numbers, and that's all fair to the point there. Feeling good still, but no fuzzies, 21%, so it's 1 in 5. Yes, excited, expect big gains, 10%. I think we're still got that kind of the community kind of split there at the moment, and that's probably not unlikely. But at the moment, with this last update, that's probably giving me a bit more confidence. I think the forking, doing the ETH proof of stake is a much better method, and I think even though we've lost the old validator set up with our 33 validators, I think this is going to be better in the long run. And of course, people will be able to, based on current knowledge, use the 32 Pulse. But we'll see around that. I'm still waiting for a bit more information around the Pulse there, or the proof of stake. So cool. Otherwise, we might end up with some sort of aggregators, because at the moment on ETH chain, I think there's 5 different mechanisms you can use to do staking at the moment. So I'm not sure whether that has changed much since the proof of stake. So some interesting stuff there. Maybe a topic for the future. All right, so yeah, that key line there, development is going fine. That is a confidence builder, and I like that update there. All right, so cool. On top of that, of course, if you thought that was not good enough, we had even more. We had Rack and Rochelle come out and back into the limelight, which is so good. One of the active billionaire. We might have 5, 6, 7 billionaires in the ecosystem, but this is the active one actually building on the chain and incorporating Pulsechain eventually into its products. But of course, they have to operate businesses. They have to get up and running. So we've seen this with other projects getting onto other blockchains. You have to get your business. You have to build up your business, and you can't wait for anybody. You've got costs. You've got staff costs. You've got to get things going. And of course, there are all those benefits I talked about: building your community, getting the wealth effect played out, getting your products proven and tested, and of course, then integrating Pulsechain. But of course, Rack and Rochelle is going to be doing a lot more than that based on the product. We've got, I think, 4 products from Rack and Rochelle that we know of, one potentially including coin listing site, security, offering government level security, which is already out, and of course, everything blockchain with the exchange. And this is really bullish. So Rack came out, it's had a couple of tweets, but this is the big one around everything blockchain. A technology company that enables real-world use of blockchain to solve critical business issues announced that its EB Exchange digital assets trading platform has entered the third-party testing. So that's really bullish. That means that customers using it and testing. So that's really cool. So great to see that. And of course, it got on to Yahoo Finance, and that's because of the fact that they are listed on this market. So it's pretty cool. We're gonna have a quick look at the article on Yahoo Finance, and of course, let's have a look here. First customer commitment received. So really bullish. And of course, Jackson, Florida, 31st of October, 2022. Everything Blockchain Inc. on the markets there. So that's OTC markets, OBTX, a technology company that enables real-world use real-world use of blockchain to solve critical business issues. Announced that its EB Exchange digital assets trading platform has entered third-party testing. This is super bullish. So yesterday you saw me. I talked about Fiat, which is a fork of Aave, successfully testing their flash loans, which is a key financial offering. And of course, we see that Aave itself has done, by the end of 2021, had done $5 billion worth of value in terms of flash loans, earning millions of dollars of fees. And of course, yesterday I posted a video of Fiat launching flash loans, but they can do a lot of other financial products too, like debt refinancing, interest rate swaps, and things like that. Those are all part of the banking, investment banking type of platforms. And so we're going to look forward to more of that. Having all these solutions on the Pulsechain is going to be absolutely awesome for the environment, because people want to use those tools to make money. And so the more of those sort of advanced tools, the better, that you have all the sophisticated players coming on and you have bigger money coming on. And so that benefits the smaller retail book as well, big time. So excited to see that. All right, so EB Exchange is the first solution to leverage EBI's patent-pending enterprise blockchain platform, EB Build. EBX is architecture to be secured by design by combining the company's robust trading technology and EB's building unique approach to blockchain. EBX is poised to make compromising digital wallets a thing of the past, and this is a big upside. So obviously, Rack and Michelle is working with the technology company, Everything Blockchain, and of course, they are building new tech as well. So EBX is poised to make compromising digital wallets a thing of the past. This is a huge, huge thing. So a real big focus on security, and this could bode very well. So yeah, we're going to try interesting. Yeah, think about it. We're going to have this potential kind of wallets on the EB Exchange with high security, and you're going to have other competing things like the Internet Money Wallet, Hearts Wallet, which we're still expecting. I think there's 2 devs working on that and so forth. So we're going to have quite a few different options, and people like options, so it's going to be pretty good. EB Exchange was developed to solve the security issues that plague most digital exchanges today. Investors should be able to trade confidently, knowing that they don't have to worry about their exchange and digital wallets being compromised. Here, we say that like we saw early in the whale bot. We saw that it looked like someone's had been compromised, a 5-day stake. So unless they had decided to end up for some irrational reason, I could see no reason for that. So you're just basically burning most of the hex in there. EBI's first client for EBX has been secured in the Middle East, North Africa region, simultaneously with the implementation of third-party independent review and testing. This is the other thing I like about this, is that a lot of the stuff is based in this Middle Africa, Northeast North Africa markets, which means that we're getting whole new client bases potentially getting introduced to Pulsechain as well. So it's obviously the Racken's going to be looking to support the Pulsechain ecosystem. Obviously, they have taken out massive. They're probably the biggest whale there. 5 wallets holding Pulsechain, Pulse Sacrifice, and things like that, as well as Hex. So pretty cool. Simultaneously with the implementation of third-party independent review and testing, EBI will be developing the user interface in multiple languages to enhance our clients' customer experience, which is really cool as well. It won't probably just be Google interpretations or whatever it is. I can't remember what they call it, but it's going to be probably actually by actual people that know how to speak that language or write that language. Forbes estimates that there are nearly 600 cryptocurrency exchanges worldwide because security was built into the architecture rather than bolted on. EBX will mitigate one of the biggest challenges facing exchanges, which is the primary reason our first customer chose EBX, added Tony Jennings, Chief Executive Officer of EBI. EBX is now entering third-party testing to objectively ensure the software meets the highest quality and security standards. So really, really big deal there, folks. Really big deal. And excited about that. So I have actually done some in-depth videos on Rack and Michelle and Overwatch, and which is the big venture capitalist, and Everything Blockchain. You got to remember, Overwatch is obviously a side of personal aspirations. Overwatch is Rack and Michelle is indicated in the past that he wants to become one of the biggest venture capitalist firms in the world. Obviously, they deal with big deals, and I think that not only is it a win-win in terms of the Pulsechain, but it's a win-win for us, and a privilege to have billionaires like Rack and Michelle around the place building on to the Pulsechain. It's going to add so much value and introduce so much new value that otherwise wouldn't even be introduced into the ecosystem, particularly from other regions of the world. So very excited about that. So it was pretty cool news. We're going to get into, I think we had maybe 1 or 2 other tweets there from Rackham. I'm not sure if we had, I think we had, let me just go back here. I think we might have 1 or 2 others here. I think that's pretty much it. Pretty much it there from Rackham, but a couple other little tweets there raising this thing about the Hex matter of Hex challenge, which looks pretty weak to me as well. I think that was pretty much it there. So great to see Rackham Michelle back posting, and very, very cool. All right, so cool. That is pretty much it. Let's jump over. I think we might have the Hex daily stats out. Let's see. Yeah, day 1067. Let's get into it. Before we do, though, we're coming up to an hour and 11 minutes on the live stream. Let's see who else has got some more comments before we get through this final day on the Hex stats. Let's have a look here. We've got up to here. We've got, the dancing. Everyone dancing to the Prada. Definitely was cool. Sandy Beach says, I tweeted a little bubble and said I love his moves. That's funny. Love RH. Was it? Let me get back to here. I just realized that I was stuck on Richard Hart's video. I apologize for that. Yeah, so cool. We got Love Richard Hart Freedom. Sorry about that. I just realized I was stuck on Richard Hart's video there, so I do apologize for that. Yeah, so this what I was referring to was this this here, this everything blockchain. So this is what I was looking at, and you can see all the details here. So I might post that in the chat there since I accidentally didn't show that on the view. Bummer. That's a bummer when you do that, but that's the way it happens. So cool. That's what I was talking to about the article. So first customer received, so really bullish there from Rackham. We're going to get the Hex daily stats though. What else there? Christian says it's great to have cash coming out of your something because you can. Most of the people, I'm not sure what you're saying there, Christian, but it sounds positive, I guess. Tron's in house there with the fire. Did anyone have the claim for DTX? No, I haven't even checked it out. DJ man. I want to meet him and dance with him. RH is a funny dude, a very rich funny dude, says Christian. Yeah, well, let's actually pull up a video on that because that's pretty funny. I think I've got the video. Let's pull this up. He's talking about Richard being funny dude. This is not much funnier than this, I think. If I can find it, of course. Got to make sure I don't leave the video on though, like last time. Is it that one? No. Must be around here somewhere. I can't even find it now. I've got such a big video library now. It's crazy. No, I don't see it there. No, can't see it. It's probably there, but I can't see it. J-Man in the house there. Good to see you, J-Man. What else there? J-Man says we're going to be receiving airdrops in the next couple of years. Yeah, I think if you've got Pulsechain sacrifices, or you've got Hex stakes, then there's probably more airdrops and stuff coming to you. But of course, just obviously we're all trying to do the best to make sure that none of them are going to clean out the wallets. PSI says that when that mic, where is Richard Hart, looks like Stephen Hawkins. Yeah, it does a little bit there. You're talking about this one here. That one there with this mic down on the bottom on left there, definitely. What else there? A couple other things. I think the bear market's going to last until spring. You might be right there, J-Man. Hopefully that the Hex does a turn before that, though. Hit the like, says J-Man. Definitely smash the like. PSI says, I'd rather teams combine their powers, says PSI. Maybe the teams get too big when they do that, PSI. It's hard to know. What's he got? 14, 15, 16 devs, something like that, is it? Something like that. Working on different things. I think he said he had 2 devs working on the wallet. So, DD says, most are still optimistic, but I do sense some sacrifice fatigue. Yeah, well, I don't talk about too much about sacrifices. I think the best one out at the moment is the PowerCity wallet. I think it's kind of the best one. Sir, when Pulsechain rocket to moon, sir. One day closer DB. Yeah, like I say, if we get V3 out and if we get V3, signal, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be a very powerful signal. But maybe December, January is my hopium launch date there at the stage. I certainly hope it's not March or April next year. That's quite a far away from here. We'll see. Katie in house with the Christmas. Yeah, Christmas time. Yeah, maybe it is then. All good, super pump. This is changing lives for sure, says Michael. Yeah, definitely. smash that like. Hey, definitely smash it like, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Share the channel around too. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm. It's always appreciated. Let's jump over to the Hex Daily Stats. Day 1067, the 3rd of November. Hot off the press, just about. Yeah, I think it's hot off the press. 3.86 cents there, down 3.2 cents again. So a couple of down days. Not surprising given the Federal Reserve movement there. 6.231. Another good day. Another good day, folks. 5 good days of Hex payouts. Now the Hex price might be down a bit, but the payouts have been really quite juicy lately. Nice little reprieve there. Get those T-share stakes. The big news of the day, though, the big news, if you want to remember, day 1067 is that we hit 25,002.7 on the T-shares. So up 6.9. There's a big milestone. 25,000, folks. Woohoo! Started at 10,000, and now we're here. What's that? Is that the J-Lo? J-Lo started at 10,000. Now we're here. Is that J-Lo? I think it is. Is that the way it works? So we're at $9,966 on the T-share. So cheaper to get T-share at the moment as well. Now let's do quick math. Let's do some maths. Let's do some tensor calculus. Let's do tensor. No, I'm just kidding. Let's do some quick maths. 25,002.7, and let's times it by the all-time high. Let's say 52 cents for argument. I know that people loosely use that 56 cents, and I'm sure it happened on some exchange. But 51.7 is kind of the highest that I see on the charts that we've got. So that would be $13,000 basically. If we hit the all-time high, 52 cents, that would be $13,000 instead of 966. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. All right, so cool. Average stake length 6.67 years. The APY is 37.8% today. And the liquidity pool, wow, up again to 272.9 million. There we are, and 11.2 million in USDC, down from yesterday. What's that, about 300,000? The ETH pool at 1449, down about 50 ETH there. What else we got there? Oh, T-shares up nicely. We had quite a few decreased days of T-shares. Nice to see a nice increase there, 10,135. And we're sitting at 10,440,417 T-shares. Remember, Hex is easy to understand. We have a reward pool with inflation and penalties, and we have an ownership pool with T-shares, which stands for trillions of shares. And of course, if the reward or the ownership pool goes up or down, then the Hex payout per T-share changes every day. And at the moment, it's been pretty juicy at a nice, massive 6.23 today. So it's pretty good. All right, let's jump away from there and jump over to the Hex stake percentage. 9.75% of Hex is staked, and we got 1.8 million in penalties today. The wallets are up 77, up dramatically from yesterday, up to 312,000. Very nice. And of course, the total stakers up 38, so a bit more modest than yesterday, but half of yesterday. And we're up 111,582 stakers. It's kind of like headline number. So Richard Hart keeps saying, get out there and do direct promotions. That's his favorite mechanism for onboarding. And of course, make more onboarding tools. Now, I think a lot of people in the community, YouTubers, big community leaders and supporters out there are looking to do a lot more onboarding tools and trying to, I think we've got a lot of work to do in that area. And that's a constant work, but I think we've got some step changes that we need to make amongst the whole community. And everyone's doing different things, which is great. But I think we've got a lot more work to do. We're going to try and move ahead in the Hex Token Discord with some of that stuff help. But of course, doing real world stuff and online stuff, both of those things matter. So get out there and do what you feel comfortable. It's helps more the merrier, as we say, more the merrier. Change in total holders up 190 to 506,219. So looking pretty good. We're on day 1068. We are getting closer and closer to the Hex third birthday, day 1095. The 2nd of December, 2022. And of course, if we take the calendar from tomorrow, we are only 27 days away. Woo-hoo-hoo! 27 days from the birthday. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, get excited. Right, so that's pretty cool. That is the update for today. How are you guys feeling? I'm feeling good. DVC says, dear sir, thank you, sir. I love that. I love calculus, says Sandy Beach. Nice. And I'm not surprised, Sandy, to be honest. You are multi-talented. It's become very clear. DB Code Cooper in the house there. Hex is the GOAT. That is true. That was a good place to finish on there, folks. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. Catch me for tomorrow for the next live stream. But of course, I'll be hopefully doing some short form videos. I've got a couple of ones that I want to do today. So let me get into doing those and get Be consistent. Be consistent. All right, so take care, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that one. Let's have a quick wrap up of the markets. We've got BTC at 20,352, ETH at 1542, BNB at 338, and Dogecoin at 12.1, down 8% at the moment, actually. We've got Hex at 3.9 cents, just about. Hedron at 3.644. Looking optimistic on the old Hedron, actually. Maybe it will surprise to the upside against my expectation that I made earlier. That is the way we go. If you want to get into Discord, the link's in the video description. We're there all the time, of course. We've got cool moderators, Brian and Fat Sammy. We've got heaps of moderators, Sat Shano, Wookie, stuff like that. Now, if you want to be a moderator in the Discord, hit me up in the DM me. We are after a couple more moderators. But, of course, you know, I like to have people that have been there engaged and showed that they, you know, are decent people that are going to not spam the chat. So let me know if you've been there around for a while. That'd be pretty cool. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Where are we going here? We're going to jump out and play some fucking music. That's the way we go here. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's play this one more time. Here we go. Bam.
Here in my $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada, 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 Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada, 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 Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.